Wacky Mortgage Guy back here to talk about purchasing your first home. If you like these videos, go ahead and subscribe to my new YouTube channel. There should be a link below, or repost, like the video. I really appreciate it. If not, that's okay too. But I'm just going to keep rolling here, and I want to touch on the question I posted last night, and that is, if you are starting to look for your first home, what's your first thought? We had a lot of great responses, I thought, but I want to recap what I talked about yesterday, and that is, in my opinion, number one thing when you are purchasing a home that you need to figure out is your budget. You need to figure out your budget, and we're going to briefly go over exactly what that means. So when you're figuring out your budget, you need to figure out a good loan amount, something you're comfortable with, that's within your pay scale. All right, everyone has dreams of owning a mansion, but that's just not practical all the time. So figure out how much money you can spend on your new home, okay? That's number one. Number two is the payment. What payment are you comfortable making per month based off that loan amount, okay? And then number three is going to be how much money you have left over. And number three is really number one, but you can't figure out number three unless you do one and two. Because number three is really important. You don't want to be house poor. And what I mean by house poor is you don't want to invest all of your money into a home so you have nothing left over to purchase. So you're basically living on, ramen noodles like we all did in college. You don't want that. So budget is huge. It's the number one thing you need to figure out. If you don't know your budget, you don't know how much of a home you can afford. So after you figure out your budget, what's next? And that question is daunting because it really is up to you and where you are in your life. A lot of people will say a lot of different things, and we got quite a few different answers. The first answer I want to touch on is location. If you live in Charlotte like I do, location is huge. You can live in the middle of the city, you can live on the outskirts of the city, or you can live even in South Carolina. So it's important to figure out exactly where you want to live, because it matters. If you're living uptown, it's going to be a lot more expensive than if you go even 15 miles outside of the city. So first you want to figure out is where you are comfortable living. And there's a lot of things that go into that. One of those things is schools. And that is huge for parents, upcoming parents, single moms and dads. You want to make sure that your kid has a great education. You want to make sure that you're in a safe neighborhood. So figuring out where those safe neighborhoods are, figuring out what schools are the best, that could be a make or break opportunity right there when you're looking at houses. So after that, what's next? The size of the house, okay? And what I mean by that is Sid touched on it briefly in one of the comments. He said price per square foot. So what exactly does that mean? If you live uptown in a condo that's 900 square feet, the price per square foot could be anywhere from $150 to $400. And that is crazy. Now, if you're living on the outskirts of Charlotte, prices per square foot would go down because it's not as high of a commodity. A lot of people want to live in the city. A lot of people work in the city. A lot of people want to be close to their friends, and they want to be able to go out without taking a $30 Uber ride. Guess who does that? Me. So it just depends. It just depends. Now, another thing, if you're living in Charlotte, is what state. Okay? South Carolina has better taxes than North Carolina, especially when it comes to real estate. So that is something else you're going to want to consider. If there's anything that I didn't touch on here about location that you're thinking of, comment below. Give me a direct message. I'll be happy to answer it, discuss it through with you. Much love. Y'all stay safe.